All right, here we are, another week around the trash fire. Your host Matthias, along with the boy.
John.
So, very short news week
Yeah,
in
not
terms
too
of
much.
Warhammer, at least.
Right.
Uh, which is understandable. I mean, they are releasing the Eldar, which I guess is a. I hesitate to call it a big release because they didn't really do too much. But I'm gonna be honest here.
With the first half.
Yeah, I mean we're getting the book, and then they did some resculpts on Guardians, Dark Reapers, which honestly in my opinion didn't really need it, but whatever.
hmm
So
Especially as like a veteran player, doesn't seem like a big release considering it's just resculpts of stuff you already have.
true, as a
Yeah.
veteran and someone who played the Eldari for like 10 years.
Right.
So, but regardless of that, they didn't really announce too big a too much anything really as well.
hmm
But we'll get to that on the Sunday preview first. We got, which I not gonna lie, I kind of forgot about. We got a coin and the model of the month. So going with the model, quickly go over this. It's the Deepkin Reaver. Is that what
Yeah,
these things are called?
The Marty Reaver.
Yeah. Okay. This is the bow variant. I don't know if they're gonna have the
Yes.
sword variants or not. I doubt it.
Yeah, probably just the bow considering their different kits.
Right. So whatever you spend your $100, get this model, or I don't really know how you
Oh,
get this, but
oh, the model is free, you just ask for it. The coin you gotta pay money for. Or buy other stuff and get the coin.
yeah. Well, speaking of the coin, we got the first Necromunda coin.
Yeah.
They've only been
Here
doing
we go.
AOS and
He-
40k.
Here we go. Ash Wastes are coming. Means it's soon. Hopefully next month or end of the month or something. This month.
You
March
think they
just started,
would
so
coincide it, right, with the release?
yeah. I think realistic best case scenario now is it's going to be like late March or something, and the coin is like it's still March. Worst case is they got pushed back, which means it's going to be April, which is fine by me. That's my birthday month, so I'm definitely gonna treat myself to some
Well,
wannabe Fallout, Borderlands, Warhammer stuff.
if I had to guess, it'll be pre-order will start the last week or the last Sunday they'll announce it. You know,
Yeah, like Eldar.
yeah. So that's my guess. So it's a whatever looking kind of coin. Skull with the Imperial Eagles
Mhm.
design. Actually, pretty cool looking.
Yeah, it's the Necromunda logo, which is pretty neat. I like it.
Yep. So we got that, and then moving on. Like I said, quick news. Sunday preview. We can just quickly go over this because we usually talk about all this stuff already. Just going down. I'm gonna skip the video and all that. We got the Deepkin stuff coming out. Got the book. Got the
Yes.
dice. Got the Fire Slayers. Same thing. Book, dice. Not much there. Blood Bowl getting a new mat. It looks like.
hmm
I don't really care too much because I don't really go into it. Dice for Nurgle. Books. Revener. Uh, what am I trying to say here? Special edition book.
Oops.
Ah, man.
Ravenor. Don't you love this one?
I hate
This
Ravenor. I hate the Ravenor book series so much. I wish Travis was here because him and me we could make a whole episode on how much we hate Ravenor. It's just I don't know. I haven't like I said I haven't gone too deep into much of the 40k books, but so I don't know if Dan Abnett just can't write a good psyker or if Ravenor is just one of the just a terrible character. Because I mean, he was pretty good. Revenor was pretty good in the Eisenhorn books, like when he got introduced in there. Like he was cool and badass, everything. You know, trained with the Eldar on his psyche, and then when he got his own book series, it was just like, this is the worst psyker I've ever seen in my life.
Kind of reminds me of Book of Boba Fett, where Boba Fett is a great supporting character, whether he's helping the Empire or helping the Mandalorian being a badass. But he gets his own show. It's like, oh, it's not really that deep. Um, this reminds me of that. Sometimes characters are great supporting characters, and not so much as main characters.
Yeah,
30K has a lot of those too, of just like Horus Aximand. You know, he's a great villain, side villain, but he gets his own spin-off novella, and it just kind of sucks. Like, yeah, I kind of don't care about this guy because there's nothing really interesting about him besides he looks like Horus, and he regrets betraying a bit. I don't know. Nothing really impactful.
yep. Sometimes side characters should just remain side characters,
Yep.
which is funny because in Ravenor is pretty much a side character because like he drives the plot and all, but like he's a paraplegic, so he's just in a wheelchair.
Mm,
But he has like this great psychic ability, so he's just like, yeah, I'll take control of your body to make you to help you out in combat or whatever. But
interesting.
other than that, like he doesn't really do anything. It's like it's always his crew that goes out and does like all the work.
Mm.
Yeah, I did. You know, I'll paint Ravenor in a bad light as much as I can. I don't like it. But yeah, there we go. You get a special edition book if you really want it, signed by good old Dan Abnett himself. Apparently,
It's not gonna make it good.
it'll increase the value of the book, I guess,
That's true.
for any of those resellers out there. So we got that. We got Gazgul Thraka coming to.
Oh man, this is the book I was talking about. This is the Talon of Horus for orcs.
You read this one, right?
I have read the summary of it, and the summary is really interesting.
Is this wait? So this book isn't out yet? I thought it was already out.
The collector's edition was out, so now it's
Okay,
the general release.
okay. So you haven't read this yet.
Correct. But I
Okay.
am very excited too.
It's got audiobooks, so I'll probably pick it up there.
Yeah, it's my rekindle my orc hype.
But you got the Black Templar hype going on right now.
Yeah, almost finished with that, but the 30K hype is kind of taken over, so
Hmm.
we'll see where that goes.
Yep. And then we got the Warhammer Plus news. Exercise episode 2. Did you watch the first one?
I have not yet. I need to watch it. There's a Warlord in the next one. It's kind of cool. Have
I
you
didn't
seen it?
even know. I was gonna get my friend who has it to put it on game night last week, but yeah, last week was super cold, so
Oh,
we didn't meet up
that's fair.
because I mean you've been to our garage. You know,
Yeah,
if it was a closed in garage where it would like get rid of the wind and stuff, it would be great. But open garage with the wind and
yeah.
temperature being like 30, 30 degrees, yeah, we're like, yeah, I think we're gonna skip tonight.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
So we'll probably watch this tomorrow.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Just have it up in the background.
Yeah, there you go.
But I'm still hyped for it. I want to see what they can do. But I've watched the first one yet, so. And that's pretty much it. We're not getting anything, no streams or anything, special
Yeah.
events. So
I don't think I'll get the Deepkin book because I just haven't played them in a while. I don't know. I really want a new unit for them. I want more infantry before I touch Deepkin again. So I'll just there's no itch right now to do anything with them.
yeah, I would be in the same boat as you. I mean, I know Daughters of Cain already came out, right? Or are they in the future?
I think they're in the future.
Okay. Either way, I probably wouldn't be getting it because I don't play enough AOS, even though I do enjoy it.
Right. Fair.
At least from what I've played. I just, I'll just try to find scans really because I don't want to spend $50 on a game that I would hardly play.
Yeah. Understandable.
But I mean, I also have Deepkin, so I would probably have to do the same thing, where I would just have to find a scan of the book.
Right, right.
And I already praised them on the dice, but looking at these dice, I'm like, wow, these look like the Eldar dice that went on pre-order last
Yeah,
week.
except yeah, just different cover. It's interesting.
Which I mean makes sense. I mean, they probably could have done something better, but there's only so many things you can do with the dice design color wise, right? Before you
Yeah,
start
yeah.
repeating.
Especially it makes sense if you have the template, just kind of swap the logo in, and it works. You know.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not the Fire Slayer dice where it's just orange,
Oh gosh,
which
yeah.
it works with their theme. It's just they could have put some like gradient on it or something to make it not just solid orange dice, but whatever.
Right.
I feel like I complain about this all the time. So, uh, it's AOS this month, I guess, right?
Ye-
AOS
um,
in the rest of Eldar.
we yeah probably rest of Eldar. I wouldn't expect any new stuff this month. Just that, to be quite honest.
Well, I feel like they're gonna just start teasing the. Well, next week is definitely gonna be the second half of the Eldar. Is my guess, right? So we're gonna get the Avatar Kane
Shining
and
Spears.
Shining Spears, Jet Bike variant, Storm Guardian. Oh no, where you got the Guardian. So yeah, just Shining Spears Avatar. I think that's it. Maybe the
Yeah, sounds about
Autark,
right.
but not positive on that. But so I mean, just those two for 40K, and then everything else will just probably be teases for Tyranids and see if they're gonna get any revamp to their units.
That would be cool if we had word on Tyranids.
Well, I mean, they said they were the next book, so I would expect them to be teasing them and teasing the uh Night Haunt slash Daughters of Cain box set that's coming out,
Mm.
right?
I
Isn't
wonder if that's gonna coincide with the Codex release.
probably, but I expect I, I mean, I really don't know what to expect for this month other than that, right?
Right.
Because what did we say? Adepticon is end of this month, right?
End of this month, yeah.
So probably not going to explore too much, but we're definitely going to be seeing Tyranid stuff this month
Yeah.
for
Especially because it was
40K.
teased. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. So uh, I think that's it for Sunday preview here. Uh, since we're recording this a day later, we got the Rumour Engine, and why not fill up our time with
Yes.
some Rumour Engine here?
Guard, I think.
Yeah, I would
Or
assume
Chaos Guard.
guard.
Trader Guard.
Could
Guard and
be
Trader Guards. Something human.
human.
Yeah.
Well, there is rumor of a guard refresh, but
This is
it's hard to say. I'm trying to think who has this, and the only ones that come to mind are the Mechanicus.
right. And they just got their stuff last year, so
Yeah, so I don't. I've never seen a guardsman with this, so I don't know what this would be. I mean, it could be a guardsman unit,
something new.
but it looks like a plating on the arm there, so I would assume maybe chaos.
The device itself doesn't look very chaosy, but not every we don't know what Trader Guard's gonna look like, right? They could have non-chaosy stuff.
I would think like chaos marine, but
Well,
I know it
yeah,
doesn't have the protruding spikes to make it chaosy.
right. But not yeah, yeah. And what I'm saying is like not everything chaos has protruding spikes, so you could be right. It could just be a chaos thing.
True. And I mean, we are expecting Renegade Guardsmen to be part of the new Chaos, so
Yes, that should be cool.
There we go. That's our guess. Something chaos or a guardsman. Something guardsman related, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if chaos or Imperium. And lastly, new model Monday, we got Harrow Deep. We got the this guy from the Exiled Dead. So some kind
One,
of new undead faction, I would assume. Probably gonna
yeah,
be
I wonder
part of
if,
the vampire counts, if I had to guess.
yeah, I wonder what kind, is it going to be like lab experiments or like it looks like a lab experiment, like his arm. It's like a Frankenstein type of thing. So that should be interesting.
Oh yeah, this is definitely going to be a mad scientist kind of army
Yeah.
or
So I am
war
curious.
band.
I'm not that hype about that theme, but you know what? It could be cool.
Well, if we've said anything positive about the Warhammer Underworlds, is that the models are always good,
Yes.
even if some factions get a little hit with the generic side,
Right.
like the
Sometimes, you know,
Bone Reapers.
right. Right. Yes, it's so true. Gosh, could have done something crazy with that. But you know what? It's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. So here's a little picture. Uh, I'm trying to think what else they could add to it. I don't know. It's undead, so you could just add anything really.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean towards the Frankenstein vibe, but even then, like what exactly that's gonna look like, I don't know. We'll see. I am curious because I do play vampires, so
What if they do like a vampire and a Volgolf Vargolf? What are
a
those things?
Vargolf, yeah. Oh, a
Vargolf,
plastic Vargolf would be awesome.
and just three models.
That would be great. I would actually really like that.
The three horror monsters right there,
Yeah, Frankenstein,
and
werewolf-ish thing,
vampire.
and then vampire.
I think it would sell if they can make it look cool.
Oh yeah, I think it would sell. Most underworld stuff does sell, so yeah, I have confidence that whatever they decide, it's gonna be cool and people will like it.
That's the power of GW and their crafting abilities or sculpting
Yep.
abilities, I should say.
Oh yep.
But yeah, that is it. That is all the Warhammer news we got. Well, not all of it, because I did happen to find, well, a friend of mine happened to find the good old scans for Eldar.
Oh.
So I got it, and I've been
Oh.
looking at it. And I'm gonna preface this: I've only looked at the craftworld stuff because that's the only things that interest me. But it's good. I like it. I think the aspect warriors are actually going to be viable in this book, even though they did go up in points, which is expected, right? Because now that they all have a
Right.
5-up invul save.
Yes. Yeah, I have heard from different competitive channels that the new Eldar won't dethrone the Custodes Tau train in the top tables, but they're really good, especially in the hands of a good player.
No, well, I mean, any army in the hands of a good player will always
Right,
be
right.
good because
That's true.
I mean that's what happened in LVO, right?
That's true.
Custodes would have won if the best Warhammer player in the world didn't win with Admech.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm excited. I am the only things I'm disappointed with, which I did say was gonna happen. Uh, the Phoenix Lords did not get a new sculpt.
Yeah.
They are still the old sculpts, except for obviously Jane Czar and Mugen Ra.
Right.
So I'm disappointed, but again, it was expected because if they were gonna do it, they would have shown them off. So shame, we still gotta use the old third edition models
For now.
for now.
But
Maybe.
for now, it could be years, right? Who knows?
Well, I mean, what they could do is, when they do what's it called? I'm just say mid chapter updates. You know, they could do what they did with Jane Czar and just throw a special character in a two-player battle
Yeah,
box,
that's
and
true.
then be like, all
Especially
right.
with a new season system. Yeah, they could just do that. That's true.
So that's probably what's gonna happen with a lot of stuff that needs to be updated. Is I'm just gonna assume it's gonna be all right. We need to sell these supplements, so there you go. New two-player battle box.
Hmm.
Here's the new special character
I'm
that
along
gets
with it.
updated.
Yep.
Let's see. Anything else that interests me in this? Uh, I was surprised to see that the Wraith Lord is no longer a heavy support. It's now an elite choice.
Yeah, I heard about that. What do you think about that?
I think it makes sense. I think.
Dreadnoughts are elites.
I mean, that's basically what it is. It's just a dreadnought.
Hmm.
It made sense back in the day that it was a heavy support because of what it did, and what it could do, and how hard it was to kill compared to dreadnoughts who were vehicles. And this thing was not a vehicle; it was basically a monster. But with how killy everything is now, I think putting it in an elite spot is a lot better.
Yeah, I agree.
Because then it also, for Wraith players, this gives them more access to their heavy support options, which, the cannon systems, I'm sure everyone's still just going to run Night Spinners because ignoring line of sight is always nice.
Hmm.
But you could do that with the support weapons, those are good too. Um, let's see, anything else? Not really anything else caught my eye. Unfortunately, with the changes, I think all I know, like I said, I think the Aspect Warriors are gonna be a lot more varied out there now. It's not just gonna be Dark Reapers and Shining Spears,
It's good.
which is what we want. Thank God. So yeah, that's
I heard.
Avatar.
Oh, oh, the Avatar.
Avatar went up only 70 points, which I think I was close to. I said he was either gonna be 250 or 300, depending on how they varied his points. So I'm glad. I'm glad he got to 270 at least.
Yeah, there you go.
But what were you gonna say?
I was reading the Yunari stuff, like a review of the Yunari, and it's I don't know. Yeah, you could combine Dark Eldar, except for Homunculus Covens. You combine Dark Eldar, Harlequins, and Eldar in the same army with no, like, doesn't seem like there's any restrictions regarding battalions and stuff or um detachments. However, you do lose pretty much every instance of a faction rule,
Yep,
like yeah, like
as it
the
should
dice
be.
mechanic, yeah. And the benefit isn't as amazing. I mean, you strike first in close combat all the time, which is pretty good, but it's kind of it.
And
Um,
even striking first in combat is not always that great.
yeah, there you go, right?
The strike last is a lot. Or the ability to make people strike last is a
Right,
lot better than always strike first.
right, there you go. So it seems that if you like the combined arms or narrative aspect of Yanari, you're not shooting yourself in the foot, especially if you like the special characters like Leon Karn. But it's not something where like, all right, time to play competitive Warhammer, all right. Like what's a good fun rules army to play? That's good. Inari won't be that. It's more of a it's one of those like if you play narrative, you're not shooting yourself in the foot, but it's not something you take to competitive for its sake.
I'm sure. Again, I didn't really look into Yanari, but I'm sure there will be some combos in there that you can do because I was gonna say being able to have Psychers for the Dark Eldar would be good, but Dark Eldar right now is meta right now is Homunculus Coven, so
Right,
that doesn't really work out. So never
right,
mind on that.
right. So that's the thing. It's so yeah, we'll see where yeah, maybe someone could find out some crazy stuff with that, but for now, it doesn't seem like it's it's as hype as it initially was when it came out.
I don't think it'll ever be as hype as when it first came out.
Yeah, that's true.
The ability to shoot out a sequence will always be the high point of that army.
Yeah,
Let me just shoot in my psychic phase and then shoot in my normal phase. No
it's
repercussions.
like, yep,
Oh,
no big deal.
you killed an enemy. You killed one of my models next to my Dark Reapers, like I wanted you to. All right, Dark Reapers are gonna shoot and just wipe out another unit before you can do anything.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll never be that good. Uh Another thing that caught my eye, which I forgot. So you can't take Harlequins in Craftworld Eldar, like a small detachment of them. Uh, they just don't get like objectives secured or anything, but they don't. They also don't disrupt uh your army abilities. So
Oh, that's good.
so if you wanted to take a little retinue of Harlequins, you could in your
Just like the old days.
army. Yeah, let them be the mercenaries that they are.
There we go.
Other than that, their approved missions are kind of trash. I don't know if you've looked
Yeah.
into that.
Oh, the secondaries?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've heard that as well. That they're not that exciting or good.
yeah, like Wrath of Cain. It's like kill an enemy with an aspect warrior in the shooting phase for like 1 point, and then do that in that same turn. Do that again with shooting, and then you score an additional 2 points if you did both of those in that turn. It's like
Too
so
specific.
you gotta you have to kill a unit. You have to kill 2 units a turn. I'm like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, that's way too specific.
And remember, they have to be aspect warriors. So
Mm-hmm. Oof.
yeah, it's gonna be hard to pull off some of these. So I don't really see the Eldari being taken unless you're confident that you can get some of these off. But
Right.
I
If.
I, I doubt it.
But even then, just take the regular secondary. It's probably easier to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how you play. Unfortunately, that's how you play 40k. Is you build your army around secondaries
Yeah.
because at least in tournament play, I mean that's how you win. So you kind of can't just throw an army together and randomly pick secondaries and hope for the best. Unless the army's just that broken.
Like Dark Eldar back in the day, back in the initial Codex launch. Yeah, it's something you really need to watch and plan for when you're doing secondaries. Um,
Yeah, but I
but I know
mean, back when the codexes were being released, I mean, the reason Dark Eldar dominated so long is because no one got their book.
that's also very true.
Had the schedule worked out, they would have had a little bit more competition. But I mean, they took like what 4 months
Yeah, it's been a while.
before the AdMech came out and started doing damage. But yeah, it's as more and more people get their books, the lists, and as they keep updating the tournament rules, lists and armies will always change,
Yep.
which is good because you don't want a stale system all the time.
Yep. Agreed.
But yeah, that's all that really caught my eye. The relics were pretty generic. They uh they went like the Black Templar where you can give exarchs, which are the unit leaders, uh relics if you wanted to.
I
Just
heard.
specific
Oh,
relics. So
yeah. What is it called? Like Exart powers are now points based.
uh they've they had that in the last edition.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's but it's only like you can only give one exarch power to, one squad. So
Right.
like for scorpions, you can only give one exarch crushing blow, and then someone else can take something that makes the Mandy Blasters mortal wound on a 5+ instead of a 6+. But yeah, so that's still the same. Some of them are okay, some of them probably would never take, which most exarchs, depending on the squad, you probably would never even give an exarch power. Like the Dark Reapers, some of these are really bad.
You might as well keep it cheap and stick with the guns and nothing else.
Like they have one called Bringer of Death. Bringer of Death gives, if you're taking a shuriken, cannon, or a Reaper launcher, you get an extra shot. And if you take the Tempest launcher or the missile launcher, you ignore dense cover or light cover. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but that's what it does. So it's
Hmm.
like, okay,
That's it.
that's it. Focus fire. Uh, make a range attack that adds 1 to the wound roll, which is, okay, but that's like 15 points. And then the other one being when they move, they don't suffer the penalties of heavy weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So they lost that ability. So now you actually have to pay for that. So it's it's not good. So
Mm.
a lot of these things like you wouldn't do anything with. I think the
Gotcha.
Scorpions got the better deal,
Okay, okay.
but again, that's only your Exarch, so it's not even your whole unit that gets that. But uh, yeah, that's it. I think Eldar are gonna do good. Will they be top tier? Probably not. I don't think they're gonna be as dominant now that like Guide and Doom only affect core units,
Yeah.
which you know is everyone on foot. But back in my day, uh, seventh edition, I used the Warwalker spam with everyone having just scatter lasers,
Mm-hmm.
and scatter lasers are whatever on their own, right? But 6 shots a gun, uh, strength 6, AP 0. Who cares that it's AP 0? I mean, that's what is that? It's
Is a
36
ton,
shots.
ton of shots will do something.
Yeah, 36 shots going into someone while guided, and usually they're shooting at a doom target, so rerolling the hit and rerolling the
And
wound.
real into wound. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's throw that in a bunch of terminators. I mean, you're bound to roll ones, but they're not core anymore, so they're not going to get affected by it. So obviously, some stuff got hit more than others, but and some of these psychic powers got toned down a bit as well. I know Executioner got toned down. That was a very popular one last edition.
How do you think Eldar are gonna do against Tau? Because they're the big scary now.
They're the big scary now. Phew. Uh, it'll depend on 2 factors, I would assume. Right. First factor will be who goes first,
Hmm.
because unfortunately, that is Warhammer 40K's biggest problem. It's
That
usually who
is, yep.
goes first. Uh, I mean, if you ask the pros, going first doesn't. You don't really want to go first.
Mm-hmm.
But with Tau, at least what I fought going against my friend, they have a lot of indirect fire. So hiding your whole army behind one little ruin, it doesn't not really gonna help you too much. Even though I think the missiles, they are big strength, but they don't have AP on them, so you should be okay. But That's still a lot of shots coming your way, depending on how many missiles he has going at you.
Right.
Uh, it's gonna depend on objectives, and it's gonna depend on your secondaries and how much you can just keep the Tau off objectives, right? If you
Right.
can keep them
And
off
survive.
primaries, if you can keep them off primaries and stop them from scoring their secondary objectives, I think Eldar will do okay. But the problem is you got to get up there and you got to be able to outshoot them and out pretty much do everything, which
Hmm.
I think Eldar can do because they are fast army. They are super fast, and with you gotta plan to get them up there. But with how good Banshees are against Overwatch, I'm pretty sure a good old Banshee squad could wipe out whatever they go touch.
Once they touch it, right?
Yeah, because that, and they can't be Overwatch with their Banshee mask, and giving the Exarch mirror swords. She gets 10 attacks just off that.
How would you get them though? Would you just do like a wave serpent or something?
Uh, Two ways I would do it. I would either wave serpent them or I would web weight them.
Oh, yeah, the webway portal exists. Yeah, being able to deep strike into combat, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it'll. I think again. Banshees are glass cannons in at the end of the day, but if you could get them into close combat and disrupt their stuff and be able to shoot down all their chaff units holding objectives and whatever, you should be good. And I think Eldar hit hard enough that they could defeat a Tau. But again, end of the day, it comes down to the luck of the dice, right?
Right.
You could have the perfect plan and then, whoops, I
And I
rolled
say
double ones
no.
to charge. I guess I'm not making it.
Well, that sucks.
Rah. So it depends on the luck of the dice, your objectives. But I think new book. I think Eldar could take on the Tau, or at least make it a close game.
Yeah.
Would they dominate? I don't know. It's hard to say. I haven't played my Eldar. I haven't played a big game with him at all, so
Mm.
I
Time to
haven't.
relearn Space Elves.
I know, right? I've been spending all my time playing Thousand Suns and Dark Eldar. But yeah, I would say because I'm biased, I think the Eldar could pull it off. Probably not the way that I play Eldar, but you get those guys who are probably gonna soup in Harlequins and everything.
Hmm.
I'm sure they could find a way because Harlequins are just as fast, if not
And do
faster.
and do more damage.
Yeah, and with the I haven't looked into it, but I assume they still have the hollow flip belts, so they can just ignore all that terrain. And Eldar still have battle focus, so and if you go Bale 10, you're always guaranteed a 3 on your battle focus movement, so you can always move around if you need to.
Hmm.
Just try not to go into terrain because you get that -3 or something like that to your movement, which is sad, but they have to make sure you can't power game it too much. But yeah, there we go. That's my take on the craftworld Eldari. Yanari and Harlequins I didn't really look into. The only thing I looked into on Harlequins was to see if the Haywire cannon was still supreme, and nope, looks like it got nerfed as
Did nerf
well.
it. Oh well.
Yeah, it used to be a D6 shots. Now it's a D3 plus 1 shot, which is a shame because I remember 8th edition souping Harlequins with my uh, Jukari because Chikari had the not Chronos, the Talos with the D3 shots, 2D3 shots of Haywire, and these guys had D6 shots. And it was just like, yeah, why don't I just take 3 squads of 3 of these and get 3D6 shots?
Get that spamming in. Might as well.
Well, it was. Plus, it was also really reliable anti-tank, which is what I needed.
Right.
But yeah, that's all my thoughts on the new Eldar. I'll be getting a 500-point game in this week, so I'll be able to judge him a bit better on that performance. But do you have anything you want to talk about before we get to like the actual hobby rants?
Warhammer Cursed City is coming back for made to order for a bit.
Oh yeah, I forgot to
Yeah,
mention that.
I remember that. Yeah.
I guess that was in the
Um,
video. I thought it was gonna be in the Sunday preview.
it's interesting because I think it's made to order because they're going to sell at the original price. And then once the made to order session ends, if once they're going to release it for general release, it's going to be the price hike price.
Yeah,
So
well,
if you
I'm
want,
probably gonna pick it up because I did really want it.
hmm
I just I was just on the fence because I was like, yeah, it'll still be around. How foolish I was.
well, it is coming back.
It is, which happy. But now that I know more about that cardboard shortage thing from you,
Yeah,
I guess it makes sense.
yeah, because they did sell the models, just not the game.
hmm But yeah, that's good. So for those who missed out, now is your chance to pick it up. Two
Yep,
2 weeks it's gonna last.
2 weeks.
So pick it up if you really want to. How much was it? Like $200?
It's 200. Yeah,
$200.
$200.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it for Warhammer news.
Yes, it is. What about got any other news you want to talk about before we go to hobby rants?
Um, they're introducing some bit of Legion news. They're introducing I guess what's the best to describe it? It's like chapters in Legion with special rules and force orgs.
Now, when you say chapters, are you like Space Marine chapters or is like
Like Space Marine
seasons?
chapters. No,
Okay.
sorry, like Space Marine chapters. Like for example, Empire is getting one where it's gonna be the Hoth. They're called Blizzard Force, so like the guys in Empire Strikes Back. So it rearranges the army list where you can't take like shore troopers or scout troopers. You could only take snows, ATSTs, all that stuff. Darth Vader because he was in that scene. But you get special command cards. You get different force org. Like you could get more. Look it up. Star Wars Legion Battle Forces. And there's the Rebel one as well, which is also set on Hoth. There's the droid one is interesting because the droid one makes it where you can take like 9 troop choices or something. Um, and the clone one is 501st, so Anakin's boys, and those ones you could minimum 1 troop choice, and it adds more special forces slots, so that's going to be cool. But yeah, the Empire one is it gives you bonuses or extra command cards and stuff, but you could only take the stuff in that Blizzard or in the Hoth battle and Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of like formations, right? Back in seventh
Yeah,
edition.
essentially kind of like formations, yeah. Formation/chapter tactics.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I guess they got to
Yeah.
vary up the game, right?
Right, exactly. If you don't have 4 factions. I mean, Mercenary, Scum and Villainy are still coming out, so one more thing I should mention. X-Wing 2.5 edition just dropped last week with new rules. and 0 product tie-in, which I think is it felt weird.
Really, they didn't
Of
release like a two-player box set or
Nope,
anything?
nope. They just released essentially. Well, the core rules have changed mostly. There were some changes with like bumping ships and shooting ships who are touching you and stuff. But the two biggest changes is they redid the entire point system. So X-Wing used to be 200 points or 200 point system. Now it's a 20 point system. So things cost a tenth of what they do. And they separated war gear and unit points. So for example, the 20 points is only your ships, right? You pay for your pilots. You know, Luke Skywalker is going to cost way more points than a regular rebel pilot.
Right,
Um
of course.
and each ship has upgrade points. So in the same vein, Luke Skywalker has, let's say, pulling it out of a hat, 12 upgrade points, while a regular rebel Blue Squadron fighter will have 3 upgrade points to spend on like torpedoes or astromechs or whatever. So yeah, so now when you're building a list, there's less. If you want to kit out your ships, you can. Like for example, I play First Order, and all my Special Forces ties could all take the Special Forces Gunner upgrade, which lets them shoot more because it's an extra turret. Before I'd had to decide, okay, do I want that upgrade or do I want more ships or do you want to upgrade on other ships? But because the point system is now per ship, I could conceivably just give everyone that upgrade without thinking about it. I mean, the downside is that then they can't take other upgrades because they have limited upgrade points. But I like that better because it just means that all my ships they just get to do more stuff. I'm not a fan of the at least in X-Wing of juggling whether I want more ships, better ships, or points. I'd
Hmm.
rather just juggle more ships or better ships and then deal with upgrades per a ship by ship basis. I think that's great. On the other hand, it seems that they didn't really clean up everything. By that I mean, for example, the New Republic Resistance Y Wing. So the Y Wing has an upgrade. It's called wartime loadout. So the lore is it converts the ship from a civilian to a military ship. It gives them extra shields and it gives them missile slot. Now the problem is for all the Y Wings except for the most expensive pilot, the rest of the pilots, you cannot take that upgrade and missiles because you won't have upgrade points. They're just kind of weird. It's like weird, just like weird stuff like that where it's like it's kind of doesn't make any sense because you need the upgrade to get missile slots, but then when you get the upgrade, you don't have many points for missiles. So it's like,
A little
so
design
that's
flaw.
yeah, and because there's like a billion ships, so I get why that might have slipped through and billion upgrades and all that. Hopefully they revisited an FAQ. And the other big change is they added scenarios, which I think I mentioned before. So X-Wing used to be just kill each other, and now they're adding like secure the satellites or carry, retrieve supplies and survive with them, stuff like that, which is cool. Actually, I really like it. The only problem ties back to the initial thing I said with the products, where there's no objective markers that they sell. The only objective markers you can get are in the essentially the Apocalypse expansion for X-Wing,
Hmm.
and it's like $25 for 6 markers because you're also getting the rest of the stuff, the Apocalypse expansion. But if you just want the markers, it's kind of hard to find. You got to like make it yourself, which like I don't want to sound like the lazy millennial not wanting to make, but if it's a game, right? Like I should just be able to buy the thing and then play with the thing, and I don't mix my paints from tree sap, right?
Right.
So that's just kind of odd that there was no product tie-in with this launch. Hopefully there will be, but yeah,
Well, maybe later down the line,
I hope so.
because they gotta update the box, right, with the current rules.
That's true. Yeah, the starter set is no longer 100% valid.
So I would expect them to be upgrading the box soon.
Yeah.
But yes, it
Otherwise,
is very weird that
it's
it would
kind of
do
odd.
something like that.
Yeah. And we're so used to Games Workshop with like new product tie-in for new edition or new codex. Right, here's some stuff. And of course, it has a lukewarm response from the community because it's like, okay, rules, and all the discussion is tied to the rules, and there's no products to oogle over. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. I mean, I like it. I am going to be hopefully playing X-Wing in the near future with the new rules, so we'll see where that goes.
Well, I mean, X Wing is still popular, and because it. Well, one, it's a skirmish game, so it's fast, and it's Star Wars, a very popular IP. So
Yep, absolutely.
I'm sure, I'm sure it'll do fine. Now I can't remember, so maybe you can refresh my memory. Is X Wing the one who's going on hiatus, or was it
It's Armada.
Armada? Okay, so it was
Armada. Yeah.
Armada.
Armada said, yeah, no releases at all for 2022.
So I'm sure with X Wing we'll be getting. Did they tie in Mandalorian or?
They did. You can actually pre-order the Razor Crest right now, but um yeah, that's it. Just the Razor Crest. They released a card pack and like Moff Gideon's in it on a TIE fighter, so like that's kind of cool. But
No, I mean, we still got. There's still so much Star Wars on the way, right? We got
oh
Obi
yeah,
Wan coming out. We got
you got Ahsoka.
yeah. So they're gonna have plenty of ships to uh get inspirations for.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay then. I think we can move on to our hobby rant section here.
Yeah.
So, let's start with you. How's the hobbying going?
Good. Actually had a hobby day with some friends on the weekend. So I finished building Grimaldus. So now all my Black Templars are essentially built. So I just need
Nice.
to paint. I just need to paint Grimaldus, and so I need to paint Grimaldus, his servitors. I need to finish painting 2 generic HQs, and then I need to paint the faceplate on my Redemptor, and then I'm kind of done with Black Templars with like 2,500 points. I mean, I have some other stuff like I have like a repulsor and 2 impulsors, but that's just going to push me to like over 3,000 points. So there's no rush of doing that. Maybe as I play more 40k, like with you guys and my other friends, um, I'll get more hype to work on those. But in the meantime, I'm my initial goal of 2,000 is going to be done probably this week.
Perfect. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
I finally got my Gromaldus and
Oh, they can get back to you.
Hellbrick. Yeah, I got it Thursday, I think, is when I got it finally. So I can finally put those guys together, which
Nice.
unfortunately is going to be put on hold because we got a Eldar hype to go through right now.
Eldar High. There you go.
Which right now I am painting up a Farseer on a jet bike
There you go.
because he's going to be in my 500 point game tomorrow. Which I'm hyped because tomorrow is also the start of our Escalation League.
Yes, I will be joining
Yes, you will. It'll be great.
my Black Templars. Although it's funny, I was planning on bringing my generic HQ, but I didn't get to paint him on time, so I'm gonna bring Hellbrick as my HQ.
You know, I was so tempted to bring the Avatar. I was like, do I
Oh
bring him in
man,
now? I'm like, you know what? Narratively, doesn't make sense. So I'm not gonna bring him in.
I have narrative reason for having Hellbrick in my 500 point army. So
Yeah, Avatar. As much as I love the Avatar, will probably come later into the game,
there you go.
just because I want to do like a narrative with this.
Right.
So yeah, do you want to know who's Do you want to know what armies are all in here?
So I know there's gonna be Tau.
So it'll be
Um.
Tau, Eldar, Custodians,
Oof.
Necrons, your Black Templar, and Orcs.
Oh, orcs.
Yeah,
Oh. Ooh.
we're gonna get a speed host.
Nice. 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 Nice.
So people can take their bets on who they think are gonna take this league. We're obviously gonna go all the way up to 2,000 points,
Tau.
250 point updated, added every month.
Yep.
So, and we'll just calculate the final scores at the end of the Escalation League.
There you go.
So, 7 players. So we go.
Maybe I'll give a prize to the winner. I have him from my Warhammer closet. We'll see.
I'm thinking of something. We'll obviously give a prize to the winner.
Yeah, we should do a last place prize too. I actually really like that for tournaments. I like tournaments that have a last place prize because you just don't feel bad as much. Like, oh, I got something for being so terrible. Because it's even in war games, it's kind of hard to just be the worst. You know, like typically if you're trying to win, you'll go like 1-2 or like 1-3. But if you want to go like 0-5, it's like, oh, that's kind of an accomplishment. Just losing every game.
Hey, it happens. People in my LVO group didn't win a single game. So, but to be fair, they're not as competitive as some of the people in my group, so makes
Right.
sense. They're kind of just there to hang out and get games in.
Right.
But yeah, so I got that going on. Uh, yeah, and it's kind of just been looking through all my Eldar stuff and seeing what's in here.
Nice.
So,
Always cool looking at old models.
well, it's been like, God, when was Eighth Edition? 2017.
The launch was 2017.
Yeah, it's been over 5 years since I played my craftworld Eldar, because I played them because they were one of the first books to be released in Eighth Edition. I played them for a little bit, and just seeing how terrible they were. Again, I only played aspects for those who are listening. Seeing how terrible they were, like I just said, I'm not having any fun with this. And then that's when I jumped over to Dark Eldar, where I was having a lot of fun with them.
There you go.
And I think I was having more fun with Dark Eldar because 7th edition and previous editions, that open top rule was so bad.
Oh yeah.
Being able to get like a +1 on the damage chart because we were open topped, and depending on your AP also boosted the damage. It was like playing Dark Eldar was painful. But when they got rid of that, it was like, oh my god, this is a super fun army. And a lot of people agreed because they were one of the dominant armies in eighth.
Oh yeah.
But now we're back. We're back to my roots, back to the craft
Now we're
world,
back.
where I got to relearn everything, which is gonna be fun. I'm excited. But yeah, that's it. I've got nothing else. Just again, Escalation League. Maybe I don't know what I'm gonna do for this series. I know I want to do a video on it, but I just don't know how I'm gonna do it yet. I promised that I was gonna get out a battle report at the end of this month, and then I also promised I'd read, well, in my case, listen to one of the books, and I think I'm gonna do the Necron book. I can't remember the name of it right now. I'm trying to pull it up. The one with Terran the Infinite.
Oh, Transcendent. Oh, Infinite Divine.
Yeah, Infinite Divine. That's the one I'm gonna do.
Oh.
When I listen to that and give my opinions on it at the end of the month as well. There's just so much crap I'm doing. So much stuff I want to do,
That's good. Creative juices flow.
That's the plan. That is the plan. I want to get our reach out there.
Yes.
I know good old G Dubs is never going to bless us with any free content because we dunk on them a lot, but if it arises and they don't demand me to do a positive review of anything, I will gladly take some free stuff.
Hey, free stuff is free stuff,
It is, but I don't want to be one of those shills that just Be
It's
like,
also true.
give this a positive review because we gave this to you for free. Like I don't
That's
want to do
also
that.
true. That's also very true.
I want to be able to. I want us to be able to say what we want, not be influenced. But yeah, I got nothing else. I think we'll call it here.
You call it here. One more thing. I am gonna be dipping in the War Machine again after like 5, 6 years with
Wait,
Will.
what? War Machine?
Yeah.
That dead
I was
game?
reading some of their lore, and it is a good game. I was reading some of their lore, and it was like, it is interesting, and like, if I could fit like. There's this new fan made mode called Brawl Machine. Essentially, it's like imagine like a 750 point format that has specific scenarios for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really fun looking at scenarios and people saying good things about it. And the game is fun. Mechanically, it's probably the best I go you go game I've played. Just sucks that no one plays it. You still have your War Machine, right? You never got rid of it.
I don't get rid of any of my models.
I got rid of all my War Machine.
I mean, I'll trade like sprues and stuff, but like
Right,
I don't really tend to sell anything unless I really don't want to use it or whatever.
fair. But yeah, I'm debating whether I should jump back to my old Crix or start Signar. So we'll see. Um,
The only model I would ever get is unfortunately I can't remember her name.
Sorsha,
Shorsha in the
Man of
armor.
War armor, the new Sorsha. Yeah, Sorsha 3. There you go. Um, and oh man, it's so if you know where to look and buy no, just go to like any like eBay or like trading sites. It's so easy to find like more because it's like kind of a dying game. It's so easy to find War Machine lots. Like I found like a $400 lot. Someone offered me $400 worth of models for like $100. I'm like, oh, that's really tempting, you know. Um, because barely anyone plays it. But I do want to get in really well. I am in the mindset, and now I'm expanding it to other games of just having a. Initially, it was having an army for every GW system, and now it's like, oh, I should just have an army of every game I'm interested in. Like even if it's a small army, just so I can play it. Um, maybe tomorrow everyone wants to play War Machine, or maybe everyone wants to play like Legion or Bolt Action or something. It's like, oh, I have a finished army, and then I get to play with it. So,
But yeah, I
um,
understand that. I got. I mean, that's what I did with like what's it called, Star Wars Legion, right?
there you go. Yeah, have a force.
I have one game group that's completely into it. My Wednesday game group have some people who are interested in it, and I mean, we've played a couple games, so sometimes they just don't want to play a 3 hour game of Warhammer, and they want to play something else.
Right.
So that's why we've been, at least for my Wednesday group, that's why we've been branching out and doing other stuff like a board game every other week. And I mean, this month we're gonna attempt to do some Necromunda, so it'll be interesting to see how we comprehend that. And then yeah, just
Necromunda is
variety of
gonna be
other
fun.
games.
Yeah,
Just to,
Necro is gonna be super fun.
yeah, I know the host on our Wednesday is really big into what's it called, Mech Warrior, I want to say.
Mm.
So I know we'll probably try out a game of Mech Warrior sometime in the line because he's been pulling out those Mech Warrior models and putting them on the table, and I'm like, he wants to play. I know he does.
There you go.
He just doesn't have the heart to ask us to play. But yeah, so I've been branching out. Of course, I still have my War Machines still
Kador.
still in their little cookie box.
Hey, there you go.
Haven't seen the light of day since I quit my uh, retail job because and that was just when third edition was coming
Yes,
out.
that's one. Yeah, I played a couple of games of third edition. It's like, oh, it's I. It wasn't even the edition. Just the community just kind of died. Um, Also 40K started getting more popular.
Well, I it was. it was good. I mean, I used to run War Machine Hordes Monday at the game store that I worked at,
Yeah.
and I mean, I got quite a few players in there uh, every week, so it was good. I was getting, I had a pretty good community in there. It's just, unfortunately, the store closed down and moved to a lot nicer neighborhood. So, unfortunately, that was also like an hour drive from where
Hmm.
it was originally located. So, obviously, the people who played at the original store weren't going to drive all the way out there to play
Right.
War Machine.
Right.
So, and yeah, like you said, War Machine pretty much just died. But that's what happens when you
Yeah.
cancel your press gangers who are doing
Yeah.
all the free advertisement for you.
Exactly. That was a death knell. It was just not having advertisement for it.
Yeah, well, that's all Magic's fault.
Thanks, Wizards.
Yeah. Well, I'd say good luck.
Thank
I
you,
always
sir.
I always have my War Machine if you want to do a game, I guess.
Yeah, might as well. Real the old days.
But yeah, I obviously do not remember any of the rules. So,
I mean, it's been a while, so I got to relearn too.
well, okay. On that note, then, uh, again, I'm gonna do this for the rest of this month and just see if it helps. I'm gonna thank everyone for making it to the end here. If you could, like the video, leave comments to help us boost up. Again, I will bring out that content. That was my promise. End of the month, we will get more stuff other than podcasts. So let's just start building up the momentum now. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll catch you all next week.
Later, everyone.
See ya.